Now, with an exception in 2004, the Victoria's Secret fashion show has been a television staple since it first aired in 2001. Now, 18 years after making its TV debut on ABC, the Victoria's Secret fashion show will not appear on any network in 2019. But I wonder why this is. Okay, let's talk about the numbers. The show did not result in any actual direct sales, as most of the items that were shown on the walkway were not available, but were also extravagantly priced if you're able to see them. But also recent revelations about the CEO of L Brands, the parent company to Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner's friendship to Jeffrey Epstein, has brought negative attention onto the brand. But even prior to that revelation, CMO of the Victoria's Secret, Ed Razek, commented to Vogue that the reason the show didn't use either plus size or even transgender models is because the show represents a fantasy. Well, that was a bold statement, and it was met by a course of criticism regarding Razek's shaming of body size. So to go more in depth, we are joined by a certified health nutritionist and author of Ripped at 50, unofficially termed Mr. Health Nut himself, Troy Casey. Troy, thank you so much for joining in this.
Thanks for having me.
Troy, I just have to ask you, are we as a culture changing our opinion on body size and image going forward on this?
I think some of the corporate entities for business are definitely looking to normalize dysfunction. However, if you look at basic biology, physiology, and psychology, the human being is an animal. This is our little spiritual spacesuit that we're here. And it's optimized at a certain level, especially when it's harmonized with nature. And we've gotten a little far away from that if you look at the food supply and what they did to the food supply and the chemical surface runoff that goes into our waterways and our airways. And this dysfunction, in my humble opinion, is starting to show up as our current statistics. 70% of Americans are obese or overweight. You've got 33% diabetes. And so these are serious issues. And to normalize them, I feel, is completely dysfunctional or good for business, right?
Well, but I also have to normalize it, and we're going to bring in the Victoria's Secret models again. Is that what normal is supposed to look like, though? And I mean, I even go back to the 1970s with Twiggy. Is that normal? How do we define normal in today's standards, and is it even possible?
Well, I think a baseline for health, I think, is still in doctors' offices. I mean, you're a certain height and you're a certain weight is healthy function. If you're looking at fat around the organs, fat around the liver, fat around the heart, there's going to be a basic baseline there. I think these numbers are starting to be skewed with doctors to sell certain drugs or to sell other elements of our, business capitalistic structure.
Well, and I understand that definitely weight loss is a huge, especially as you get towards the first year. It's actually very, very big business on that side. But, I have to wonder, when we talked about, there is a long list of health issues, much longer than the 3 minutes we have left in this segment, that comes along with obesity. At the same time, though, we had this backlash from the 80s and 90s of the eating disorders, from anorexia to bulimia to all these wide range, because we were so focused on being skinny. So is there a way to be a healthy society with a little bit of balance involved? And what does balance look like in today?
Well, I think balance is the critical word here, right? All the ancient sages have said, walk the middle path, walk the razor's edge. So balance is key. And so we're not talking about skinny or twiggy or as a normal element. There's a basic baseline. And when you go into the wild, you don't see obese lions. You don't see too skinny, monkeys or anorexic monkeys. And so I do believe that we can come back to balance, aligning ourselves with nature, with the natural rhythms of nature. While we're in this modern day society, I do believe that we can get back to nature.
And that one quick thing, final, as I let you go, I just want to real quick, is this new view of healthy bodies, and once again, I still don't think we have a definition yet. Is the healthy body Victoria's Secret? Is that a healthy body? What does it look, and is it really good for it? What does a healthy society look like in present day?
Well, for me, again, when I go into the jungle or when I go into nature, I see animals that are svelte. that they have their musculature.
But there's fat elephants. You see fat things, especially those, women, or not even women, but you're looking at female animals that put extra fat on because they have to get through the winter. You look at bears, they add on blubber. I mean, you do see, not everybody's fit and trim in nature. Or maybe I'm going to the wrong zoo here.
No, we're just looking at averages,
oh, okay.
right? You're going to have both ends of the spectrum, but we're talking about balanced in the middle.
On that side. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and everybody check out your new book. Thank you for joining us, Troy.
Yes.